yeah, I finally managed to get my chatbot working before I really got started. But things that aren't quite working right, I have selected a merch store. It will be fourth wall. I'm just having problems setting up the account because, well, some asshole who will remain nameless went and set up an account with them before, got a piece of merch, didn't really appreciate their customer service, and I think he deleted his fucking account. So I'm working on getting things sorted out. I did get a lovely email back from them. Their tech support does seem to be far better than their customer support, which I suspect is because they don't actually. Their customer support, when it comes to items that have been shipped, it's not necessarily in-house. So, yeah, it is what it is. Kalergi says, fuck that guy. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Fuck that guy completely. Hi, Kalergi, how you doing? Speaking of fuck that guy, let me get the browser open properly here. Damn idiot. Yeah, I know, right? Dickhead. Probably bald, too, on top of it. Excuse me. So, yeah, speaking of fuck that idiot, my friend Lomax decided to immortalize me in song, let's say. And he wrote this song. Now, one of the really funny things about this is a lot of people have the impression that Newfoundlanders are generally Irish. We're not. There is a significant Irish population in Newfoundland. It is true. However, it's mostly confined to the Avalon Peninsula, also known as and part of that is known as the Irish Shore. So, of course, the running gag for Lomax is that I'm a leprechaun. So we'll pop over to this. Okay, we'll pause it there. I'm going to open it on YouTube rather than that. Let me pause that again. No, I didn't want to mute it. I wanted to pause it. There we go. So yeah, we're going to play this. This is about 4 minutes. I don't suspect my friend Lomax will copyright strike me. However, knowing YouTube, it might. So every now and again, I may pause it, but I'll grab the link and throw it in the chat, which should have been over here. There it is. And if you guys want to go and check it out, please do. Go show Lomax some love on X and on YouTube. He's a good friend. He's somebody who I met through Yiz, through being associated with the Discordant Dragons podcast. Speaking of which, I will be on there tomorrow night. Which is, it's good that I remembered that, because otherwise I'd have completely forgotten to mention it. Anyway, we'll get into this now.
Hey, Nikki.
Let me throw on the subtitles here. The really funny thing is, I used to work for in a bar with a manager named Nikki, and she was an absolute bitch. So,
Sam, and oh my gosh, is that Frank Marino? Chaps, welcome my special guests to the Lucky Charms Casino. This is Lomax, Yiz, and Aiden. These are strictly VIPs. Get them anything they want to drink, anything they need. Come then, my good fellas, let me take you to the back. We'll lift the weight off our legs and have a private chat.
One thing I will point out, and like I said, I have to interrupt this from now and again, just to absolutely make certain that YouTube won't copyright strike me. Though I doubt it would. The music is a polka. It's completely alien to Newfoundland culture altogether. So it's, just one more reason I'm laughing at this.
Welcome, me dear friends, to the base of me operations, my land of opportunity, entertainment and sensation. This is where we make the big bucks and get filthy rich. This is where we scratch the vices that the punters itch. Chasing a fake pot of gold at the rainbow's end. Leprechauns have a knack for getting more than the suckers want to spend. We entertain the rich, tourist, the addicts, and foolhardy. Champagne on the house from your host, Mr. Arden Party. If they want to throw away the coins, I say, what's the harm? Welcome to my casino, the wonderland of Lucky Charms.
They're after me, Lucky Charms. Oh, Faith and Magora, top of the morning to you. Yeah. Hey, diddly diddly. Leprechauns are based. So far, yes. If you ever watched Leprechaun, I watched, oh god, who was reviewing Leprechaun in the Hood? I have seen Leprechaun in the Hood. Jennifer Aniston's in it. Of course I saw it. That woman just gets hotter as she gets older, doesn't she? Anyway, yeah, who was covering that Leprechaun in the Hood? I can't remember. It may have been, oh, no, it wasn't a review. It was just someone sharing it on Discord. And I believe it might have been Yiz. And yeah, the conversation was both based and inspired.
We leprechauns are bold, bald, and beautiful with
Calvis out ex Pulker, motherfucker.
merry tunes to sing. And here I am, the big fish. They call me the Walrus King. So many shekels wasted gambling, they all think that they can win. The dealers take them for a ride without them ever noticing. The never once complained they'd fall for any proposition. I am not a crook or thief, just a master of tacticians. The Calvus Audax pull chair, the world's sexiest of thumbs. We might let them steal a wee bit, but they only get the crumbs. Slots and roulette wheels, poker tables stacked with chips, dollar signs in their eyes, desperation on their lips. They think they're on a winning streak, but they get just the drips. The gold here flows like maple syrup, and I rub it on my... We entertain the rich, tourists, the addicts, and foolhardy. Champagne on the house from your host, Mr. Arden Party. If they want to throw away the coins, I say, what's the harm? Welcome to my casino, the wonderland of Lucky Charms. Huge fortunes can be won, dizzying new heights and dazzling neon lights. Our generous hospitality caters to every vice. Come in and roll the dice. As high stakes as you like, play for any price, 50 shekels would suffice. But fuck around in here, I'll crush your head like a grapefruit in a vase.
Yeah. It's almost like he knows my attitude when it comes to having to ban people. If you've ever been anywhere near any of the Artie and Fist streams when I'm modding, yeah, that's absolutely true. Thank you very much to Lomax. That was, and I did put this ahead of, but kind of part of the Six Semper Mentalis, because sometimes I can be a dickhead, and occasionally it's good to have yourself knocked down a peg. I absolutely pissed myself laughing the first time I listened to this, and it is now permanently in my my playlists rotations. Absolutely hilarious song, excellent video, or excellent song, excellent work, Lomax. Thank you very much. I do actually appreciate this in the spirit it is intended. Now, speaking of Six Semper Mentalis, yeah, let's get to that section. As always, we start with the stinger that translates it. Of course, Six Semper Mentalis is a slightly non-historically accurate way to say thus always to dickheads. And dickhead number 1 today is this damn fool who absolutely got what she deserved. That is a fucking lynx. Okay, it's not a snow leopard. It's a fucking lynx. Do you know what it... Actually, wait a second. No, I think it might actually be a snow leopard. How the fuck did you get that close to a snow leopard? Anyway, from El Gato Malo, Boricua Gato, says, selfie with murder kitty. I'm honestly curious how people got so divorced from reality that things like this seem like good ideas. Simple. They ignore their survival instincts. Assuming they actually have them. I mean, you have millions of years of evolved instinct that says alpha predator. 100 pounds of cat is pure lethality. Your lizard brain should 100% know this. Part of the problem is that occasionally you will see Instagram reels, TikTok videos, etc. Excuse me. Of people essentially petting and playing with these creatures. But those aren't wild creatures. Those are either rescues or ideally completely domesticated creatures. But you cannot, and this is true for any animal that people keep as pets, you cannot take the wild animal completely out of them. You get dogs will randomly bite people, and it's not just pit bulls. Any dog can do it. A significant portion of the responsibility of having a dog is keeping it disciplined. Yeah, and somehow the Instagram smooth brain just shuts this off and goes in for the picture. Have humans basically bred all sense out of themselves? She's very lucky to walk away, and she does walk away. I'll play the video in a moment. One thing I did want to point out, and I do apologize for calling this a lynx. This is definitely not a lynx. The lack of ear tufts alone tells me that. I live in a place where there are lynx. And if you encounter one, and my father taught me this, and if you encounter one, the absolute last thing you ever do is turn your fucking back to it. That has to be true for something like this creature here. And I mean, it's a gorgeous creature, but that's probably 100, he figures 100 pounds. I figure that's probably closer to 120, 130. A dog that size is a significant challenge. A cat that size that has claws and teeth and killer instinct? Yeah. Also, she probably doesn't weigh much more, if more, than that animal. Yeah, this is someone who thinks nature doesn't bite? Have you never read William Blake? Oof. And let's see. I'll have a fling through this. Jeff Galbraith says, the kitty better not be put down because of her stupidity. I highly doubt it was. Maybe the cat freaked out over the thought of being in a walk. Oof. I have to go. My Chinese food is here. That's mean. Perfection. Yeah. Okay, so it is a leopard. Les Johnson. So, the leopards eating people's faces party actually exists. And we just saw one of the voters. Good to know. Let's be honest, that selfie was fire, though. Hey, remember what you used to look like? Yeah. She appears to have acquired some facial injuries. So, apparently this is actually a video. Oh. That's probably the selfie stick. Because I'm pretty sure that's her. I hope she still has her eyes. Yeah, the cat's just gonna fuck off. As far as the cat is concerned, a bunch of humans showed up, fed it one of them, and then took it back. That's the exact process that thing basically experienced. Gorgeous creature. But, not a pet. not friendly. Yeah. She is extremely lucky to be alive. Let's see. See what else is here in the comments here. Still a cat, so Jesus, no. Do not piss in the woods. Things will come to that piss that you do not want coming to that piss. Shaped like friend, not friend. Not shaped like friend. Shaped like death. Yeah. Liberals and illegal immigrants, ain't that the truth? Good Lord, she did the meme. I never thought leopards would eat my face, sobs a woman who voted for... Oh, no. Jesus. Is that a real thing? Leopards eating people's faces party? Can't be, surely. Face-eating leopard party. Leopards eating people's... Oh my god, it is a real thing. Leopards eating faces party, okay. Proper noun. Alternative form of leopards eating people's faces party. This is some sort of internet gag, right? A notional political party supported by people who believe its cruel, unjust, or extreme policies and rhetoric will only harm other people and are then shocked or displeased with it. Okay, so it's an internet thing.
Leopards eating people's faces party.
Jesus Christ. Oh my, photographing something you want to show everyone. Object, guys, yeah. I always thought it was the other way around. We not see your cat, stop asking. Try our chicken, it's perv. Oh, that's a terrible joke. Darwin watching, yep. Is that Scott Adams? We're not allowed to show pattern recognition or exhibit self-preservation instincts anymore. Yeah. I'm covered in idiot. Still couldn't outdo the OG. Yeah. Like this guy is fucking Chad as hell. AK-47, step pony, snow leopard pet, or familiar. I suspect this is really just a Mongolian druid at this point. Or, what's the other one? Ranger, yeah. This is one of my cats, Hobbs. We're pretty confident that if he was the size of a tiger, he would eat us. You don't have to be pretty confident. And he doesn't have to be the size of a tiger. If you die and you're too close to him and he can get to your eyes, they're gone. Did I miss a chat? No? Okay. Let's move on to the next story here. This one, I find this one heartwarming. How's that? From Bruce Barrett, over on X. A cop forces a moron to clean the snow off their car. No, I'm not joking. He stopped him and told him to clean the snow off his car. I 100% support cops doing this. This is a hazard for everyone around you. You fucking clown. You could have spent 15, 20 minutes clearing it off your car before you moved. And maybe 3 minutes to go. Instead, now you had to be stopped by a cop, talked to by the cop, and ordered by the cop to clear the snow properly from your car. At which point, that probably took an extra 20 minutes. So yeah. Absolutely based, absolutely appreciated, absolutely good job, officer. Yeah. Now, let's talk about Rational Post's idea, I guess. Came up, or possibly saw someone do this. So Popeyes isn't hiring Canadian as much as they should. And someone pointed out that they noticed. And we'll buy Canadian again when you hire Canadian again. And, yeah. You just need to leave it on the tables. Yeah, absolutely. Subtle, small changes to the logo. Osmos. Shawarma. Yeah, subtle, very small. I could have done this at the Jelly Queen I was at earlier that day. We noticed. DQ, Grill and Chill. Much appreciated. Thank you very much, Rational Post. Yeah. Noticer t-shirt? That's a little much. It's a bit busy. I wouldn't say it won't do anything. It's easy to leave behind. It's uplifting for quiet noticers to see others notice. True. Inspires new noticers to contribute to the noticing. Maybe they will make t-shirts. Sampo said t-shirt. I am not that artistic. Yeah, that's extremely busy. I don't mind it, though. Parts of it. Needs a bit of work, but it's not that. Which will be trashed when the table is cleared by an Indian worker. This is truth. However, did you do one for Sing Hortons? Sing Hortons. Tim Hortons, yeah. Their Cajuns slowly started tasting like butter chicken. The butter chicken tastes like Hefe. Yeah, got a printable version. I would be happy to help with this endeavor here in Edmonton. That's Logical Velocity. So we'll go through and have a look. There's Starbucks, Sing Hortons, Osmos, Subway. Yeah, we will come back when they go back. Yep. Let's see what else we got. Libs of TikTok. And this is still technically part of, let me pause this. This is still technically part of Sic Semper Mentalis. Texas judge Rosie Speedlin Gonzalez, yes, her name is Speedlin Gonzalez. She's Mexican. Who was just arrested for handcuffing an attorney, was in a battle over her pride flags. She claims she was targeted for being asked to remove all her LGBTQ merch from around the courtroom. These DEI judges are a national embarrassment. This is further. Bexar County, Texas judge Rosie Speedlin Gonzalez arrested for allegedly unlawfully having an attorney handcuffed and locking him in a jury box. You kidnapped somebody because they bitched about your pride flag. Yeah, she was celebrated as the first openly gay judge to be elected in Bexar County. Good job, Bexar County. Maybe now you need to get a better one. She was fighting over keeping her pride flags in the courtroom. So this is, I assume, the same judge. And we'll just play a quick bit of this video.
Judge Rosie Speedlin Gonzalez became...
God, don't pronounce it like that. Speedlin Gonzalez. Andale, andale, arriba, arriba, yeehaw! Yeah, I'm that old.
the first openly gay judge to be elected in Bexar County. Within months of taking the bench, a complaint was made by a local defense attorney to the State Commission on Judicial Conduct.
Yeah, you don't need that flag because you're ruling on the laws of this and this. No, sorry, this flag. This and this. There we go.
About the rainbow pride flag she had in her courtroom.
It came across very much like I was being...
This is the background you choose to use as a judge? Wow. Okay.
Being targeted and discriminated against.
And it wasn't...
Yeah, sure. Okay. And if someone came in with a complaint where they were the defendant or the, what's the opposite of defendant in a civil suit? Plaintiff. If they were the plaintiff and the defendant was an openly homosexual or an obviously homosexual individual, or even just someone who had the good sense to put a rainbow pin in their lapel, do you really think they're going to perceive you as being fair to them with that flag in the fucking room?
Just the rainbow pride flag that she was forced to remove.
I was also ordered to remove all rainbows from the courtroom. My mouse pad.
Why do you even have a rainbow mouse pad? Is being gay your entire identity? Who you bang is everything that we need to know about you? Apparently it's actually all we need to know about you.
The pen that I used.
So, yeah, being gay was your entire identity. Good job.
The robe where I had a sarape, colors.
Gonzalez states her disappointment is also because other judges across the state have not been required to remove flags or different color robes from their courtrooms.
Well, that might be because their particular accoutrements are not political statements. The rainbow flag is.
Are they going to go to these judges who have an Irish flag in their courtroom or wear a camouflage robe when they...
A camouflage... Hang on. I'm sorry, did you just say judge wears camouflage robe? Bexar County. I gotta see this judge. Texas judge says she was forced to remove. Complaining judge pride flag panel to rule. Texas sanctions judge for displaying rainbow flag. Sanction for rainbow flag Forced to remove. Graduates 500th. Okay. Images. Holy shit. That's fucking badass. Now, what's this guy got on his neck? Yeah, see, this is an African thing. I don't have an issue with that. That's a heritage thing for him. Yeah, so this is, oh, she's won her appeal, has she? That's nice. Yeah. A Provo judge was honored with camel robes for supporting veterans. See, now that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back to Rosie. I can't say the things I want to say even on Rumble.
They want to, or, you know, make sure that out in the rural counties there isn't a Confederate flag flying.
What are you trying to say about your fellow judges? And what do you mean out in the rural counties? Your jurisdiction is Bexar County. You don't need to concern yourself about other jurisdictions.
In some little JP court.
She has since made an appeal.
And listen how superior she sounds about some little JT court or whatever the term was she used. It's a lesser court than hers, of course.
On the ruling and is awaiting to get her day in court, which can come later this year. And as she waits, she's making sure to continue to be.
Now, I will notice that, assuming this is her chambers, I can't see a single fucking rainbow. She wasn't ordered to remove them from her chambers. Why is it only when she's doing something public-facing?
A leading advocate for the LGBTQ plus community any way she can.
It's become a year-round type of approach to life, to live.
Pride season. Sorry. Pride Day. Then Pride Month. Then Pride season. Now it's Pride Life. Ugh.
Authentically and to live.
No, if you want to live authentically, sweetheart, you wouldn't have the rainbows only where other people see you. You would have them where they matter to you. I like Aquaman. I have Aquaman where I know it's there. But I do this. It disappears. It doesn't matter to me if everybody sees it all the time. Now, when I'm kind of looking at this screen, yeah, he's kind of right under my nose, but that's not the point.
Out loud.
The State Commission on Judicial.
I also don't have Aquaman fucking everywhere. And if I was doing something public facing, like say I had a business, a contracting business or something, I certainly wouldn't put Aquaman on my fucking truck.
Judicial conduct does not comment on pending litigation. An appellate court of 3 justices is expected to preside over this hearing in Austin. Erica Hernandez.
Hernandez. Well, now I know why she pronounced it Gonzalez the way she did. DEI judge must go. How the fuck is that a real name? Nah, I'm right there with you, Gunny. Right there with you. Bexar County is known to be Wren Collective territory. What the fuck is a Wren Collective? The Texas group that has wielded significant influence on Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez during his time in office operates under the umbrella of a California nonprofit. Ah, interesting. First openly gay judge in Bexar County arrested. Well, isn't that queer? So grateful I'm not a brainwashed. Yeah. I don't honestly believe this is a real mugshot. But let's see. I know he's been arrested, but I highly doubt there's an actual mugshot out. Yeah, no, it's probably an AI thing. Make asylums great again. Speedy Gonzalez wanted, yeah. Black robe fever, also referred to as robitis or black robe disease, is a term used to describe undesirable traits that judges may develop after being elevated to a judicial position. This syndrome is characterized by the emergence of arrogance and a disregard for the perspectives of others. Well, see, here's the problem. She may be arrogant, but she definitely is not disregarding the perspectives of others. She's seeking intentionally to change them. And only other people's perspectives. Again, as I pointed out, There's not a single rainbow to be seen in her chambers. But it's all over the courtroom. The mouse pad, the pen, on her robes, the flag behind her. Yeah. You just don't see enough people being taken away in straitjackets anymore. I'll give you that. Not necessarily related to this judge, but oof. Sensation. That's not good. Yeah. Yeah, what was this about handcuffing an attorney? I didn't catch that particular part. Just arrested for handcuffing an attorney. Was in a battle over her pride flags. Okay, so let's see. Speedlin, Gonzalez, handcuff, attorney. See if we can find something about that story. Close that now. Come back here. Lawyer locator. No, don't need a lawyer. Here we are. What happened in December? Oh, okay. Let me full screen this. Maybe this will help. There we go. So this is the local news. I will not and cannot disable my ad blocker. And since you're going to be a dick about it, we will come all the way back here. And we will go with that. Okay, archive this URL. Okay, so we're going to be waiting a little bit for that to happen. Oh. Security check. Oh, I just had to prove I'm not a robot. Okay. Okay, while I'm waiting for that to work out, we'll come back and look at another story. So the UK government created Amelia. This is from De Civitas, who I do follow, Bill C10. UK government created Amelia to brainwash British kids with globalist government propaganda. Their creation has escaped them and has turned into the leader of an army, a multitude of memes rising up to embrace a return to the England that once was. I kind of lean towards academic agent on this point. It does feel like it's getting slopified. Like it's being turned into nothing more than just another means of entertaining people. And the deeper underlying origin and meaning of it is being stripped away. I think my archive is done. No, it's just archiving. But I do kind of agree with AA there. It does feel like it's getting slopified. And it's not just AA. There are other people who've said that as well. That said, it's still entertaining as hell. One thing I do want to point out, though, is someone did point out that she's now being dressed in much less modest clothing in some instances. And I think this is no, I don't think this is a collection of other people's work. I think this might actually be the artist's work. Somebody bros or brows. Skybrow, I think. Yeah, Skybrows. Yeah, there you go, right there. This fella's work. He says, has anyone heard of this girl named Amelia? Seems kind of based, actually. Yeah. So we'll watch a little bit of this. It's 3.5 minutes, but I don't think we'll watch the whole thing. And, of course, fair use, I will have to interrupt it. Also, I will point out, the people claiming Amelia as goth can go get bent. She's emo. And no, that doesn't mean I'm taking possession of her or claiming any sort of ownership as an emo person. I used to be goth. And that is not goth.
British not skittish, my jolly good chap. British not skittish and done with this crap. British not skittish, break the nights from the nap to take here. For your skull a good rap, raise your pint lads in the back street. Pub below, flashing purple threads, dystopic window. Know the goal they created and couldn't control. Amelia girl was such an own goal. Vision chips on the lips, they were cracking their whips. I say now have you all seen these sad side clips? Bloody 1984 on the floor. Sad propaganda that's looking so poor they can't conceal.
I do like the image behind her in that shot.
Bloody 1984 on the floor.
Here. Ingsuck. If you've ever read or watched any of the 1984 stuff, you know where that came from. I will grab the link for you guys if you want to check it out yourselves. You can. Personally, I'm going to throw this guy a follow. I don't really care just for the Amelia stuff, but I think he deserves support as an artist. All of that music And as I understand it, all of the animation, all the music was done by him using AI tools. So, yeah. And to be fair, you can say what you like about people who use AI being lazy or untalented or having someone else do the work for them. No. AI, how to put it gently for the people who do true artwork, we'll say. There are... This in a sense is almost like AI crafting, in a way. For example, someone who does arts and crafts might buy something like, I'll use this as an example, this mouse ball, right? This is actually one that came out of my newest trackball. I'm not a big fan of purple. I have a green one in there. But they might buy this to put it into something else. That doesn't mean that their work is any less valuable. It just means that they're not the originator of this piece. But what? Michelangelo didn't exactly make the marble that he carved David out of either. He probably didn't forge the chisels he was using. It's a matter of assess the end result to determine whether or not it's valuable art. Now, this might not be valuable art, but there is a degree of artistic endeavor involved. So, yeah. Now, granted, it's nowhere near, in my opinion, the level of, not quality, but prestige of someone who takes the time to learn how to use oil paint and create good lighting, good shading, things like that. So, yeah. I don't really have a... Ugh, Cat Girl Amelia? No. I don't really have a big issue with that sort of thing where you're taking something and adapting it to other purposes. Now, talking about adapting things, this is fucking bullshit. Helen of Troy in 2004 versus Helen of Troy in 2026. From Basil the Great. I am following him, yes. I never thought Chris Nolan would be one to do something like this. Completely ahistorical, woke nonsense. This could be easily described as the most beautiful woman in the world. What the fuck? Oh, and apparently I'm having some issues with my... I'm the Helen of Troy now. I've also seen her described as Helen of Detroit. The original cartoon, the live-action remake. What are you waiting for, Disney? Come on, Disney. Come on. No parts? Don't want to make a black man dance around like a monkey in the jungle? Yeah. Yeah. Helen of Troy described by Homer as a woman with white shoulders and very fair hair. Not this... Yeah. That's racist. Why is the black guy the villain? That's racist. Why does the black guy have to get shot? That's racist. Why is it only black people killing each other? That's racist. Why are there no black people in this movie? Yeah, there's no pleasing these people, so do what's right. And for the record, the people screaming, "Oh, you should make Helen of Troy black," aren't the ones who are going to go watch this movie. Nobody's going to go watch this movie. It's complete ahistorical twaddle. From Robert Meyer Burnett, the Viceroy of Verisimilitude. And clearly a keen appreciator of alliteration as myself. Star Trek used to be about extraordinary people doing amazing things. Now it's about mediocre, neurodivergent, self-centered, identity-plagued narcissists who can't be bothered to do anything at all for fear they'll be uncomfortable. Fuck this show and the bitches who write it. And, of course, then he says, "Prove me wrong." And I couldn't help but respond, "Well, Robert, don't hold back. Tell us how you really feel." Morty's family, you are correct. Star Trek, like most good stories, is about characters who are better than us, people the audience can look up to and aspire to be. They give us hope for the future. Today's characters are flawed people we can identify with, but not aspire to be. I can't even identify with somebody that flawed. Are you kidding? I'm an ex-addict, obese failure, essentially, struggling podcaster, and I can't identify with these people. How they got there is a mystery. Are you kidding? And that's not even the characters in the show I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people making the show. Who was the absolute fucking genius who told Holly Hunter to put on a pair of glasses, which came out of a uniform with no pockets, somehow, take them off after looking at something, what, 1,200 years in the future, after we've got LASIK and replicators and, you know, all the medical technology they had just in the first series, where nobody was wearing glasses, if you remember? Yeah. The only people who wore glasses in the original Star Trek series were affectatious fucking knobs like Kirk. And even Kirk only did that. I honestly believe Kirk only did it as an affectation at first. That's it's kind of throwing me now, to be honest. But it seems like, and other people have said this, they simply haven't done the homework. All they've done is take pointless little bits of memberberry juice and try to make some sort of a swirly memberberry nostalgia bait show, which doesn't appeal to new people or the old ones. And on top of it, they've gone and thrown in CW levels of fucking teen drama. Yeah, they show a future that's just like today with no improvements and no hope for a better future. Yeah. And to finish with the continuity thing, because this drives me absolutely insane. When she takes those glasses from around her hip, there's no pockets in those fucking uniforms, never has been. She pulls the glasses out from beside her hip, puts them on, uses them, and then when she takes them off, she doesn't maintain possession of them. She hands them off to the Jem'Hadar Klingon hybrid. The fuck? Why isn't she keeping them? The continuity. That's I mean, it's basic basic cinematic craft to pay attention to your continuity with your props. What the fuck? Stephen Brady, that historical truth is evading them. The first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth, whether scientific, historical, or personal truth. It's the guiding principle upon which Starfleet is based. Yeah. The fat salamander. What do we got here? References itself now. Garbage, couldn't even tolerate it. Yeah, people are not happy about the new Star Trek. So, from Rational Posts, Canadians will protest ICE in another country, but say nothing about Canada being invaded via mass immigration that is destroying their children's future. Yeah. In Vancouver, Canadians stood in the rain outside Hootsuite to protest its ties to ICE. Unfucking believable. That's not a local quirk. That's international outrage. Fuck ICE. Fuck you, you fucking idiot. Brian Allen. Let's see what you're all about here. You're an American. What are you even commenting on Vancouver for? Twit? Oh yeah, and they had the friggin' ice lizard. Yeah, you're not wrong. These people want to see Canada die. It's already on its last life. Brainwashed, woke mob, ruining Canada. Yep. Brainwashed by MSM. Yeah. Now that a lot of boomers are retired, this is what they focus on. Growing up, I thought they were smart. I was deceived. Yes, you were. Is that Mike Tyson?
I'm not scared of these guys. These guys think they intimidate me, and they think that I think that they're scared. Oh well, if they're scared, that's all I know. I'm gonna bring the pain to them, and that's all it is. Then we go see how tough you are. Tough guy.
Okay,
I like tough guys.
Mute that again. Yeah. Okay, so you know, since we're talking about Canadian immigration, from Nate over at Celtic Ashes, 3 missing Quebec girls were rescued from a Richmond Hill, that's in Ontario, home following a human trafficking investigation. Shaikh Sabahat, 23, and a 17-year-old, whose name can't be revealed because they're a minor, that needs to change, have been charged with multiple offenses related to trafficking and sexual exploitation. Police say there may be more victims. This guy's 23 years old and he's already kidnapped at least 3 girls. Yeah. I quite literally watched this happen in the UK for 10 years and warned people if we didn't do something, it was going to start happening in Canada. Go fucking figure. Where's my Ardent was right fucking award? Or my ardent called it award. Yeah, say it with me. Yeah, fucking Caucasians. Yeah, tell us again how mass immigration has enriched our country. Will charges be reduced to prevent deportation? Quite possibly. Time to bring those back? Sure. If you don't hang them this time, they'll just keep doing it. Is it them again, Yoki? It's always them, boo-boo. He should receive nothing short of a beheading, as they would likely grant this piece of shit in the shithole country he was born or where his ancestors. No, see, that's the thing. All cultures are not the same. In his culture, what he did might be considered perfectly acceptable behavior. And the getting caught, the bad side. Yeah, that might come as a shock to you, but not every race on Earth holds the same moral attitudes. Pakistani Muslim grooming gangs, just like in the UK, these racist bigots target poor white girls to enslave them because their religion tells them they're allowed to. Exactly. Liberal mass immigrations have brought us this. Immigrant grooming gangs operating in Canada. It's not like you weren't fucking warned. We saw this happening in the UK. Jesus. Naomi's got him absolutely nailed. This is a far-right white supremacist Proud Boys member, right? And he's probably one of the Second Sons or a Dominion Society member. Same as me. Yeah, doubtful. 5 days in jail, change their names, make it illegal to do them. That's what will happen. Yeah. The MAP liberals won't have it any other way. Liberal light ain't no different. Yeah. We're run by a uniparty in this country. Can't believe they actually arrested them. Why not catch and release because of racism like Europe? Why do you think it was kept so quiet? These men should have serious jail sentences. No, they shouldn't. No, they shouldn't. They're slavers. Do you not understand what that means? Okay? They are human trafficker. That is just a nicer way to say slave trader. Fucking execute them. Send a fucking message. Don't worry, in Quebec, child abusers get short sentences because the judges know that they will be raped and beaten almost every day in jail. Even if they ask to go into protected isolation, the guards will make sure they forget to close some doors sometimes. Unwritten laws. Never thought I would argue for the death penalty in Canada, but we sure are getting close. Okay. Would I necessarily argue for the death penalty if this had been a Canadian? Yes, because it's still slave trading. If it was any other crime, would I? Possibly not. But if these guys turned out to be illegals and committing crimes like this, execute them. Period. It's time to start sending statements, not asking apologies. Public executions, they don't have to be public, they just have to be done. Sovereign-minded Canadian. Every Canadian man knows what should be done with these invaders. Yeah, I think I've been talking about that. Keep bringing these criminals into Canada, charge him and imprison him and his gang. What the fuck are you on about? Yeah, you're some kind of idiot. Let's all do our part and protect our children. Let us teach our children how to protect themselves. Keep a close eye on our children. Canada should never become a UK 2.0. Too late. You think there's not a fuck ton more of this going on before this kind of stuff gets into the public notice? Yeah. Doing what they were brought here to do. Special judges engaged who do not suffer from the liberal judges suffer anguish for the guilty. Yeah. More cost effective to deport them after the wood chipper. Well, see, after the wood chipper, you don't have to deport them at all. They become fertilizer. And what we do is start moving the line of fertilizer further and further north every year. Eventually, we'll have an entire Arctic farming community. No. Chop off his balls and put them in his carry-on for the flight back. No. If you're going to do something, if you're going to go that far, you just fucking execute them. Grooming gang. Well, it looks like they're trying to, yeah. Deport them. No. Stop fucking sending these people back out of the country so they can try and sneak into some other country and do the same thing again. Always. Oh, send them home. Okay. So let them have come to Canada, act like barbarians to our people, our children, and then send them home. Huh? Your plan to throw them out of the plane in the middle of the Atlantic, right? Oh, you're not? Oh. then no, I don't agree with deportations. Speaking of deportations, how does this fucking retard have a job is absolutely the right question to ask. From The Buck You Will, Immigration Minister Lena Mettledge-Diab, yes, that's her name, says she wants her department to acquire the ability to track the number of people with temporary visas who are exiting the country. Fucking excuse me? They're not fucking doing it right now? I'm right there with you, Buck. How the fuck do you not know who's leaving? Yeah, let's have a quick look at this. This is from CTV News, so apologies for the likely soy dripping fucking crap of this. The immigration minister wants department to track exits of temporary residents. How the fuck were they not doing that in the first place? Immigration Minister Lena Diab says she wants her department to acquire the ability to track the number of people with temporary visas who are exiting the country. The immigration department confirms almost 1. Oh, sorry, let me blow this up. That'll do. The Immigration Department confirms almost 1.9 million temporary visas, including work and study permits, are expiring this year. More than 2.1 expired last year. Taken together, that's 4 million. Diab said the CBSA, Canada Border Services Agency, and IRCC, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, are able to track some information about specific people and groups, but there's no simple way to track how many temporary residents are leaving Canada. They bring them in unvetted and then don't know if they left or not. We're going to need our own ICE in this country. Diab said she'd like to change that with the help of digital tools. There's this thing called a piece of paper with a date on it and a name. So if the piece of paper is missing, got a problem. However, on that piece of paper, because you have the name and the expiry date, you can look at that name, look at that expiry date, and go, has this person left Canada? And then you call whatever authority would be responsible for figuring that out. And if they say, we don't know, you say, why don't you know? And if they say, we're not allowed to track it, or they say, we don't track it, then you say, start fucking tracking it. You don't need to beg somebody to... You're the minister. You are the person who's been put in charge of making these decisions. Why are you asking? Fuck. Need to get women out of politics. There's a number, and of course, as always, we have lovely journalist English. There's a number of countries around the world that do track those, and I believe we need to also be doing that. I can't fucking believe we weren't. How do you even know if somebody... How the fuck do you even know if somebody even left? Did we have the capabilities to do this before? No. Should we? I think yes, and that is something you will see us working toward. Aaron McCrory, CBSA Vice President of Intelligence and Enforcement, told a House of Commons committee hearing on October 21st that the agency can track who is leaving Canada, their method of transportation, their date of birth, and the travel documents they use. He said CBSA doesn't currently have the ability to determine if someone is leaving because of an expired visa. McCrory told the committee it can manually check that on a case-by-case basis, a process he described as very labor-intensive. Hey, go figure, Canadians need fucking jobs. People with temporary visas contributed to a major increase in asylum claims in 2024. If someone applies for a temporary visa, runs it out, and then says, oh, I'm a refugee, you say, no, you're not, fuck off home. Because if you don't, 5 years after you say, oh, that's fine, you can be a permanent resident, and they get citizenship, they're bringing their family here. Their family that was perfectly safe in the country they left. And then, if it's anything like the crowd in England, they go home for fucking vacations. Fuck right off. A response to a written question from conservative immigration critic Michelle Rumpel Garner, who we talked about yesterday, on asylum claims shows more than 112,000 people on temporary resident visas and nearly 22,000 people with study permits applied for asylum in 2024. If you come here on a work visa, a study permit, a fucking refugee claim, you don't get to stay. Period. Refugees go home when the crisis abates. Students go home when their course ends. Workers go home when their contract expires. Fuck you, you don't get to be Canadian. Because you took the slimy, shady, sideways way of approaching it. About 6,600 temporary residents and 1,100... Oh, wait, no, sorry. Okay, Canada only approved 14% of those claims. That's 14% too fucking many. From people on temporary resident visas, 20% of the claims from people with student visas. We need laborers. Could we train our own people? Because 20% of those people, yeah. About 6,600 temporary residents and 1,100 people with study permits made asylum claims in 2020. Most of these claims were approved. No fucking doubt. Diab said the government's Border Security Bill C-12, now before the Senate, is intended to deter people from making asylum claims to extend their time in Canada. The legislation says asylum claims won't be forwarded to the Immigration and Refugee Board if the applicant has been in the country for more than 1 year. So that's at least better. Many people in the last couple of years were probably advised that is your last option, just claim asylum. If people don't know, they're going to take the best advice they have, right? And so I recognize that. What you need to start doing is when they begin the fucking process, when they first apply for a work or study permit, they are told immediately, when your contract or your course ends, you will be going home. If you don't, you will be contravening Canadian law, and you will be deported with no ability to apply to return. Critics have accused the federal government of curbing the right to claim asylum. If you're one of those critics, go fuck yourself. Diab has said that people who have been in Canada for more than a year can still apply for a pre-removal risk assessment, which keeps them in the country just long enough for them to go, maybe I can save a bit of money and go hide. The minister said this all is part of Ottawa's efforts to restore public confidence in the immigration system. Good fucking luck. What else have you got to talk about down here? Publicly available IRCC data on temporary resident arrivals says a combined 305,000 workers and students arrived between January 1st and November 30th, 2025. The target was about 673 temporary residents. So they got less than half of what they wanted. So they're not going to send any of these people out. And because we had to grow the population because of the economy, the line must go up, blah, blah, fuck. Has it occurred to you at any point that if you stopped bringing immigrants in, the companies that you're so hell-bent against, at least publicly, those companies would be forced to increase wages. If wages go up, taxes go up. If taxes go up, government revenue goes up. When government revenue goes up, you can afford to do things for people so that they can work harder. When they can work harder, they're more valuable employees. When you have a more valuable employee pool, a company will pay more for them. Wages go up. Therefore, taxes go up. See how that fucking works? Okay. What else has the buck got here? Best news you'll see all weekend. Yeah, this is nice. From AF Post. The UN is on the brink of imminent financial collapse due to U.S. funding. According to Secretary General GETTR. Yeah. Let's, oh, okay. That's all there is to that story. Yeah, the claim is that, oh, here it is. We'll have a quick look at this. Oh, speaking of archives. What happened in December 2024 that led to the indictment of a Behar County judge over a year later? Court records provide context into the verbal spat that erupted in court between Judge Rosie Speedlin Gonzalez, before Judge Rosie Speedlin Gonzalez ordered that a defense attorney be handcuffed. Are you fucking kidding? It started as a scheduled court hearing to potentially revoke probation for a domestic violence suspect accused of violating his conditions of release. Less than 10 minutes later, it resulted in a defense attorney handcuffed at the judge's orders. Now, more than a year after that hearing on December 17th, Judge Speedy has been indicted on charges of unlawful restraint and official oppression after court records show she ordered the bailiff to place Elizabeth Russell into custody. Oh look, a lesbian abusing another woman. The indictment gives general details while accusing Speedy of illegally detaining Russell while acting in her official capacity as judge, but newly acquired court documents shed light on the courtroom dispute that led up to Russell being handcuffed. Russell was representing a family violence suspect in the hearing, in which the state accused him of not checking in and failing to complete 40 hours community service, which would have placed him behind bars again. Let's see. Speedy was presiding over the hearing. According to the court transcript, Russell briefly conferred with the defendant before Speedy asked him directly about the allegations. When the judge did eventually ask if he indeed failed to report to his probation officer, he responded, "Yes, ma'am, true." According to the court transcript, Russell then again met with the defendant and told Speedy he would like to recall his plea of true and correct the record. Speedy responded saying that, quote, "Attorneys are not allowed to coach answers to their clients." What the fuck do you think people have attorneys for, you twit? The judge said his initial response would remain on the record, but that the court would recognize if he later said the allegation in fact wasn't true. Court records state Speedy then asked the defendant if it was true. He didn't complete his court-mandated community service, and he said not true. Okay, so state you have a true plea for violation of Condition 4 that Mr. Collins then withdrew and stated not true after being coached by his attorney. Wrong. She asked about his checking in, and he said true. Then she asked about his community service, and he said not true. Two different questions, two different answers. She's conflating them. Stop, Speedy said to Russell. It's on the record. Oh, sorry. At that point, things escalate when court transcripts state Russell objected to the judge's categorization of the events. Yeah, because she was confused. Stop, Speedy said to Russell. It's on the record. Your argumentative ways are not going to work today. Stop, or I'll hold you in contempt, Miss Russell. I will hold you in contempt. Your Honor, I'm allowed to speak, she responded. You are allowed to speak, but you're not allowed to be argumentative and argue just for the sake of argument, Gonzalez countered. The back and forth continued. Speedy asserted, I get to raise my voice in this court, not you. Meanwhile, the attorney asks for recusal, and Speedy then requested Russell be taken into custody. Put her in the box. We're not having this hearing this way. Ooh. The moment you were asked to recuse yourself from the case, you should have gone, it's just a county court thing. Yeah, okay, fine. I'll set you over to have a hearing with a different judge. Simple, easy, no need to get head up. At 2:18, just 8 minutes into the hearing, court records state the defense attorney is placed in handcuffs as she says, you need to contact him now, referring to Judge Sid Hurl, who oversees the 4th Administrative Judicial Region. Okay, so this is Russell being placed in handcuffs, says you need to contact him. Contact another judge. Russell continues to plead her case for a hearing on criminal contempt. Speedy responds by asking, I can hold you in contempt, Miss Russell. Are you going to behave professionally or aren't you? Asked again if she'll, quote, conduct yourself professionally, Russell says, I will, and then has her handcuffs removed, according to the court transcript. Speedy begins taking steps to end the hearing early, but the verbal spat continues with the following exchange. Speedy, you will not run around these courtrooms, especially 13, and think that you can just conduct yourself in the way you've been conducting yourself for at least the last 6 years, Miss Russell. Russell responds, Your Honor, I've only been licensed for 5. Speedy, well then it's 5. Bitchy. Russell, and I have not conducted myself unprofessionally whatsoever. Speedy, evidently you are in an echo chamber of your own thoughts because if you take a survey among the judges and other co-counsels and other attorneys in this county, you will find differently. No, you're a bitch because everybody else says so. Holy shit. Russell later accused Speedy of bias and prejudice. Yeah, seems like it. And the judge threatens to prevent her from, quote, being able to practice in this courtroom in the future. They fling one last threat of filing grievances against the other before the transcript concludes. Speedy was assigned a $20,000 bond and released after posting bail Thursday. As for what's next, the State Commission on Judicial Conduct may decide to issue disciplinary action in the case. It's unclear at this point if it will. Mark Stevens, who is representing Speedy, said that, quote, we will be doing whatever is necessary to ensure justice is done. He says, I hope she is presumed innocent and that they will let her do her job. It's a strange thing for a defense attorney to say, but okay, moving on. So, let's talk about Guterres and the UN falling to shit. Pieces. It's already been falling to shit. The UN chief has told states that the organization is at risk of, quote, imminent financial collapse, citing unpaid fees and a budget rule that forces the global body to return unspent money. According to a letter seen by Reuters on Friday. Well, we've got to spend all this money. What can we cater? What kind of event can we put off? Where can we send peacekeepers? Always about the fucking money. Every Berg, single, Steen, Timowitz. The crisis is deepening, threatening program delivery, and risking financial collapse. Good. And the situation will deteriorate further in the near future, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres wrote in a letter to ambassadors dated January 28th. The UN is facing a cash crisis as the world body's largest contributor, the US, has slashed voluntary funding to UN agencies. Hey, look, it's voluntary. We didn't even sign fucking contracts for this. To UN agencies and refused to make mandatory payments to the UN's regular and peacekeeping budgets. Well, hang on a second. If it's voluntary, how are they refusing to make mandatory payments? Either all member states honor their obligations to pay in full and on time, or member states must fundamentally overhaul our financial rules to prevent an imminent financial collapse, he said, warning that cash could run out by July. That was a UN spokesperson. No, sorry, that was Guterres, okay. Yeah. So the UN might be falling to shit. Well, falling to pieces. Good. From my friend Rhetorically Defective. If you don't follow Artie, you probably should. Let me see. I'll grab that link and throw that in chat. That'll be over here. No. Sorry. Just realized. Let's put that back and then put that back where it belongs, which is there. And then I can throw that in chat. There we go. Okay. From there, you can find his YouTube channel, his Rumble channel. I think they have an Odyssey channel as well. Excuse me. So, from Senator Dick Durbin, and dear God, I can't believe he actually used... Oh, hang on. I meant to start over here. So, Dick Durbin decided it was a good idea to use this particular image from Alex Pretty's shooting to support his case. I would like to point out, however, this is clearly not a very well AI-enhanced photo. Unless, you know, there's actually some sort of mechanism in ICE officers' heads that you can just push their head down into their torso and it springs back up. Like a fucking clicky pen. Yeah. So from Senator Dick Durbin, we'll let him talk a little bit. And let's see, where's the most watched part? Okay, so probably about here.
Aggressive campaign of terror. What was the Trump administration's immediate response?
Oh my God, dude, speak up.
When they heard of this second killing in Minneapolis? Not to bring down the temperature, but instead to rush to the American
I can't believe he's using that picture of all pictures. I am on the Senate floor to condemn the killing of U.S. citizens at the hands of federal immigration officers and to demand the Trump administration take accountability for its actions. Readers added context. Yeah, God bless community notes. This photo the senator shows has been digitally altered from the original screen capture of the incident that killed Alex Pretty. The kneeling officer on the right has no head, and other seemingly clear but fictional details are created from the original blurry image. And there's actually, I guess this is a breakdown page. AI-enhanced images of Alex Pretty's shooting circulate online. Let me full screen this and see if I can get a better look at it than I've got here. Oh, I guess not. Let's see if I can open that image in a new tab. That'll work better. And my system is slowing way down, so I do apologize for that. Okay. Okay, so... oh, wow. Okay, so this is the original all the way over here. Look at how blurry that is compared to... Wow. Holy shit. That is terrible. Oh, I accidentally closed the window I wanted open. Okay, well, anyway. Dick Durbin's a fucking idiot. But what do you expect? These people don't understand how AI works anyway, so. Okay. Let's see. Haven't missed any chats. That's good. As this is the end of the recorded section, and I will be taking a short break, I will, of course, thank chat. Hi, Kalergi. Thank you very much for being here. Also, I want to take the opportunity to say please do support me financially. You can do that at Ko-Fi, and before too much longer over at Fourth Wall if you want to buy merch. Other than that, Thank you, as always, to Simon JJ, Sadie CPNTA, and the Orangutan Gang for your help keeping this going. Let's see, what else? I will be on Discordant Dragons with Yiz the Eunuch tomorrow. Other than that, I believe she's reassembling the AP squad. I think Aiden Paladin is on with me as well. Other than that, I will see you... Oh, Kalergi says we should use AI to make everything less mooish, actually. See, the problem with that is most AI is, in one fashion or another, pro-moo. Yeah. Would be a prettier world. It would be, pretty good. Okay, folks. I will see you tomorrow afternoon, and then tomorrow evening for Discordant Dragons. Love Aiden. Yeah, Aiden is good shit. Let's see. Yeah. So other than that, I hope you're having good days. I hope you continue to have good days. And as always, rise and rise again until lambs become lions. Bye-bye.